So far away, Lucas. The people have spoken. We're back in front of the green screen.
We are indeed, yeah. Well, I'm not, but you certainly are.
Don't ask what Tetris-style black magic I had to do to maneuver my home office to fit this thing in comfortably and still have me on screen in focus. I hope, because it's only me here at the moment, but let's go. In the last few decades, the relative strength of chess-playing computers and programs increased to the point where even grandmasters of the discipline refuse to play against them. Got that bit, got that. With a key turning point in this relationship between man and machine noted as being the match and subsequent rematch between chess-playing grandmaster Garry Kasparov and a chess-playing computer program called Deep Blue.
I want to see what a computer-playing chess program is.
There's probably one in Minecraft, like someone probably built something like that. Either way. Especially since following that rematch, Deep Blue did the most human thing imaginable. Rage quit and refused a rematch, like a boss. So, far away Lucas, how familiar or clued up on chess-playing computer programs are you? Because chess has actually had a pretty big resurgence in the last few years. Like during the pandemic, a lot of people got into chess. And chess is one of the most streamed things on Twitch at the moment, and a couple of personalities in that world have become like minor celebrities in their own right.
Yeah, it has become really popular, and I'm familiar with that side of things. Of a lot of people have gotten into it actually over the pandemic and streaming it and stuff. I'm less familiar with the programs themselves.
Well, I think the best example of how strong computer-playing chess programs and dedicated bits of hardware are now is that things that you can get as just a regular person on the street for free online, like Stockfish, can comfortably be grandmasters of chess.
Like, is that just like an uncontestable thing?
Yes.
Running such an engine alongside a game against a mere super grandmaster, let alone a normal person, will see you win roughly 100% of the time.
And for anyone wondering, my statement in the intro to this piece, how accurate that is, just consider a quote from chess prodigy and world grandmaster Magnus Carlsen, who says that he uses chess playing computer programs for research and study, but refuses to play against them because it got demoralizing after he lost to them, and I quote, all of the time. And this is a guy where if you Google him, it's name Magnus Carlsen, known for playing chess, blood type chess, born in chess. This guy is just chess, and he doesn't play against dedicated chess playing software because it just beats him.
God, yeah.
You go back 20, 30 years ago, and grandmasters could easily, handily be even the most advanced, dedicated chess-playing computer program. They built literal supercomputers that did nothing but, analyze chess games and moves that grandmasters could beat. And now you can download software on your fucking phone that can beat them.
See, what I want to do is, I want to do the equivalent of, when you go into a fighting game and just button mash and confuse the AI and see what happens there.
Well, oddly enough, that's something that's going to come up in a little bit. But we need to talk about why chess-playing computer programs are so strong now. And I'm not going to pretend to even understand the complexities of chess at that higher level. And you know what? That's something that's been repeated by grandmasters, because they have also said that they struggle to comprehend what it is that chess-playing software is doing, because they are literally thinking on a level beyond them. Because that old quote you probably hear about chess grandmasters that they plan 5 moves ahead or something like that? Mm-hmm. Chess-playing computer programs now can plan 1 million moves ahead, for example. They have got so much more knowledge, for lack of a better term, than even the most seasoned masters of the game can comprehend. And it reminds me a little bit of this great article that I'll try and track down and link in the description below about AI that was programmed to play Go. So you familiar with the game Go at all?
I think you've mentioned it a couple of times in videos previously, but I can't remember exactly what it is.
Okay, well, it's similar to chess, but it has a very, very dedicated player base, and it's one of those games where the skill ceiling is effectively infinite. And just for shits and giggles one day, a group of software engineers just made a computer play 1 billion games of Go against itself, and then asked a master of Go to play against it, and he gave up in 5 moves, and asked him why. He went, I don't know what it's doing. I don't understand what it's doing. I'm scared.
The professional commentators almost unanimously said that not a single human player would have chosen move 37. So I actually had to poke around in AlphaGo to see what AlphaGo thought. And AlphaGo actually agreed with that assessment. AlphaGo said there was a 1 in 10,000 probability that move 37 would have been played by a human player. So it knew that this was an extremely unlikely move. It went beyond its human guide, and it came up with something new and creative and different.
And this story is kind of prescient given what's happened in just the last few weeks with stuff like, is it Chat GBT or whatever the fuck it is? That's like basically just replaced all of BuzzFeed now, because you can just feed it BuzzFeed articles and it will write BuzzFeed articles without any aid from a human, which, you know, is not really that impressive considering the level of writing quality BuzzFeed articles generally have, but still kind of scary they've put someone out of a job.
Yeah, and like I think even recently there was like a Bing AI that was meant to be like a competitor to it that they showed off and stuff. Like it's very prevalent right now. Yeah,
and it's really scary like how good like these programs have gotten in just a short space of time. So as mentioned, 20-30 years ago, just chess-playing computer programs could not even hold a candle to what grandmasters could do, and now chess grandmasters are scared of them. And that's not hyperbole, like scared is a direct quote. Like they are scared of what these things can do and what they'll be able to do in the future. Because like, you know, it's taken humans thousands of years to get this good, and it's taken machine learning like 20 years.
I mean, that's true, but 30 years ago Google didn't exist, so that's also pretty scary.
And the short version of why computer programs that play chess have got so much better, and they were generally programmed to prioritize taking pieces over, say, positional advantage. You could generally confuse the computer by just like, you know, sacrificing a piece, because the computer couldn't understand why you would do that, because in its, you know, simplified computer brain, more points equals winning. Which
those
makes sense.
pawns just like getting sent out to death to confuse the AI.
But that's, you know, that's chess, and that's why for many years it was the thinking of grandmasters that computers will never be able to play chess on the same level of us because they can't do that. Like computers can't comprehend the deeper complexities of the game. It only sees it as numbers, not playing against an opponent, not positioning. Like it doesn't understand the concept of, say, sacrificing a piece because, like, you know, the computer programming just sees number goes down, that is bad, avoid that at all costs. And if you are a grandmaster of chess, that is a pretty critical flaw in the computer's game plan that you can exploit. And as a result, like, no computer was ever able to even get one game off a grandmaster until Deep Thought.
So how does a chess engine help? Unlike the $100 million Deep Blue, which used brute force programming to search its vast database for the best moves in any given situation, modern software like Stockfish and LC0 are able to perform more selective searches, faster and for free.
But the strongest engines, the Alpha Zeros, are the ones who've had no human input. They've been told to basically just learn chess on their own, so they come up with these crazy opening ideas. And of course, the ones that have had no human input are better than the ones that have.
So what's like Deep Thought, and like what is different about it than any other of these AIs that can't understand, you know, I say, sacrificing pieces for the greater good?
Well, Deep Thought was a custom-made chess-playing supercomputer made by IBM. And they challenged a bunch of grandmasters, including the aforementioned Garry Kasparov. And Garry Kasparov beat Deep Thought handily. Like, it wasn't even a contest. And IBM ran away with their tail between the legs, and Garry Kasparov, like many other grandmasters, said, computers will never beat humans. Like, they just don't understand. So IBM took it as a challenge, absolutely tuned the fuck out of Deep Thought, which was now named Deep Blue. And for anyone curious about why they changed the name, it's because around the time they were making Deep Thought, the now infamous pornographic movie Deep Throat came out.
Oh.
And they didn't want any allusions to that being made in the press. They changed to Deep Blue, and they challenged Garry Kasparov again. And he beat it again. And IBM were understandably kind of pissed off, so they took Deep Blue, tuned the fuck out of it once again, apparently internally naming it Deeper Blue, which is just really hilarious to me. so this is no longer Deep Blue, this is Deeper Blue.
It's like they went back, they did some XP grinding.
They basically did, yeah.
Everything into chess points and then like come back to beat the boss.
Well, that's basically what they did, because one of the ways that you like train these programs is you make them play chess against themselves. Like they never play games against humans. They just play games against themselves after the rules for the game are programmed in. So have you ever seen war games?
No,
It's a
I've
great
not.
example
No.
of this. Okay, well, the end of War Games is that, like, short version of a story, like a NORAD computer goes rogue, and to make it realise the futility of war, they make it play a million games of tic-tac-toe against itself, and it realises that, oh, tic-tac-toe always ends in a draw. The only way to win is not to play.
6 up.
There's no way you can win that game.
I know that. It doesn't. It hasn't learned. Is there any way to make it play itself?
Yes, number of players 0.
Learn, goddammit.
And they do the same thing with chess playing computer programs. They just make it play chess against itself after it knows the rules until it, like, understands the optimal move to make in any given situation. And that's what they did with Deeper Blue. They just made it play a billion games of chess, what have you, until it learned, and then made it challenge Garry Kasparov once again. And you mentioned earlier, Lucas, what would you do to beat a chess-playing AI?
I mean, I would do the equivalent of like button mashing and just randomly move things that make no sense.
You should take me seriously, because look at the scoreboard right now.
Yeah, I got numbers on the...
Yo, did he just walk up slowly and down smash?
He did.
Well, that actually happened during the rematch between Deep Blue and Kasparov. But it wasn't Kasparov who did that. It was Deep Blue.
Oh no, that learning Karl.
Well, this is one of the most infamous moments in chess in history. So during the match, Deep Blue made a move that seemed eerily human.
But the tables were turned toward the end of game 2, when Deep Blue made a move that Kasparov didn't expect, leading him to resign.
It was the loss of the match, because I couldn't recover.
Still, Kasparov soldiered on.
And Garry Kasparov was visibly flustered when the Deep Blue made this move. You see him in the footage, what the fuck's going on here? And after the match, his handlers and people who observed said he was visibly shaken because the computer had made a move that made no sense to him. And the thinking is that Kasparov was shaken because he thought the computer had seen something he hadn't.
Right,
with this move.
Yeah.
Because on paper the move made no sense, which shook him. Well, it makes no sense to me, but this thing must know something. What am I not seeing? And he was shaken, and it beat him. And years later, Kasparov's like, I wasn't shaken. It didn't get me. I wasn't on tilt or anything like that. But that to me sounds a lot like he's trying to save a bit of face. I'm not sure about you, Lucas.
Yeah, potentially. It's well, you did as you say, become visibly shaken and then lost the game because of it.
Deep Blue hasn't won a single game out of 5 because, again, game 2 I resigned when I could force a draw. Now, force a draw. Now, if somebody has another opinion, stand up and tell that the position was not a draw. Game 2 was resigned in a completely drawing position. Is it a correct statement? No, is it the correct? No, I just want... No, it's important. Is it...
And in the years since, he's gone, I wasn't shaken, I wasn't confused. Also, I think Deep Blue cheated. And it's we can get into that in a moment, but for anyone curious about what actually happened, according to IBM engineers, Deep Blue just stalled. He didn't know what to do. He couldn't find any move that was optimal. So as a result, just played one random legal move. And that apparently just threw Kasparov off to the point where he was flustered enough for Deep Blue to beat him. But this is where I think the most human thing ever kicks in, because after the match, Garry Kasparov was pretty pissed off because he was the first, chess grandmaster to get his ass whooped by a computer, and he's like, I want a rematch. You know that thing where you beat someone and rematch right now?
Let's go again, yeah.
Yeah, me and you, one-on-one, run it back. Do you know what IBM did?
Just say no.
They went, nah. Just, nah, we won. So they said no, refused the rematch, and then took apart Deep Blue.
1996, after the first match, it was Kasparov who suggested having a second match, which IBM agreed to. After this second match, Kasparov wanted a rematch, and IBM didn't grant it.
Why would it want to risk losing the very tangible profits it's made when its stock goes up after the victory by playing again?
Just fuck it, retire on victory.
That's
Why
the one.
not?
It's 1-0, 1 fucking nil. All done.
Grenade Brothers.
Yeah, let's play. I'll beat the shit out of you.
The hell you
It's
volleyball.
I'm a fucking pro, man. Watch me.
The hell you are.
Beat that.
Garbage. Fuck. Unstoppable.
Oh, stop quitting after 1!
Unbeatable. Unbreakable. The champ. The champ.
So they retired Deep Blue, dismantled it, and then refused to release the logs. And Gary Kasparov's camp were really mad. And they were like, release the logs. And like, no, we don't have them. We'll release all of the training matches that it did. And they had to explain to Kasparov, there aren't any training matches. It played against itself.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you were the first proper match it ever had, and it won. And it was... And this continued for years. And there were a bunch of amazing rumours about what happened. Because internally, apparently, they didn't dismantle Deep Blue. And it was sent to an IBM office somewhere, and it was still being used. And but other rumours say that they did dismantle it, and they sent it to different parts of the world so it couldn't be reconstructed. And there are other rumours that someone got mad and attacked it. There's all sorts of. But suffice to say, Deep Blue kicked Kasparov's arse, and that was the turning point where just chess playing computer programs and dedicated software started to encroach on what humans were capable of. And just the idea that it all started with just the fucking fuck you didn't win, the rage quit. And I know Deep Blue didn't rage quit and go, no, I'm the winner. It's its handlers that did that.
Mm-hmm.
But I imagine if Deep Blue did gain self-awareness, it would have enough knowledge of human psychology to know the biggest dick move would be to do that, to refuse the rematch. So far away, Lucas, in a roundabout way, this video has been about just the salty rematch.
Mm-hmm.
So do you have any stories or memories of just someone getting mad salty about losing a game? It's this one with Castro is so funny because, as mentioned, he has spent years, this is a shadow that has loomed over his career. And every time he's interviewed about it, he gets really annoyed, and he's changed his story multiple times. No, I wasn't thrown off by the computer. I knew it was a glitch. They were cheating.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, mate, we've got you. We've got footage of you being like, huh? You can see him. You've got his core, not in HD, but whatever D we had at the time, we have that footage of him. And he's like, no, I want. So do you footballers when they tackle, snap them in fucking half in HD? In front of 100,000 audience, a million people. I'm like, no, I want me. Did do what are you on about?
Well, yeah,
any examples of that for you?
Yeah, my story actually relates somewhat to football, in fact.
Okay.
And I think you were there for this story.
I think I was, yes.
And yeah, so one time we just went to a very casual Super Smash Bros. Tournament at a bar.
There's no such thing.
And to be fair, though, we were the, by far and away the most, sweaty Smash Bros. Players that were there. This was a very casual event, and they also happened to have a FIFA tournament on at the same time, which I just thought, screw it, let's play in both.
Mm-hmm.
I then somehow just, dumbed my way through the entire tournament, got to the final which I spent 90 minutes desperately defending and just, not able to play against this person who was clearly better than me. I got one counter-attack, scored a goal on my only shot of the game, and then just won the tournament.
Yeah.
So, to which the dude was not happy about the situation and just started pressuring me, let's have a rematch right now. It's like, no, I win.
I remember, because you had a few drinks in you at the time, and the guy got really mad. I'm like, well, you only won because you got that one goal, and you just responded drunkenly. So I only won because I won. And the guy's like, well, it don't matter. And I think you just looked at him and went 1-0 and turned around and walked off. And he literally, well, he didn't literally because there was no ball, but I think he was the guy who brought it, so he picked up his controller and left. It's the digital equivalent of taking his ball and going home.
And that's the thing is, a victory's a victory.
Hey, 1-0. Hey, I'm looking at what the scorelines are. 1-0, mate. That's a win for me. That's all you need to do. Just the 1-0 tap in. Yeah, it counts.
Nothing. It's so much funnier because I got absolutely dominated the entire match and just got lucky.
But the best bit is as well, that's not what the scoreline says. When you get to the end, mate, 1-0. Luke's is the winner. Oh, and I always love people like that as well because I don't play much FIFA. I'm bad at it, but I am that knobhead. You can be smashing me 8-0. If I score one goal, I'm celebrating like I've won the World Cup. I'm leaving the screen on and put full celebration, salmon into it back at net, running around, put my shirt over my head and cheer.
Oh god, I love it.
It's the best way to do it. 'Cause it's like like my dad used to. I think I've talked previously. Like my dad got really good at Tekken 2 when we were kids, and would beat his kids at Tekken 2 and then just leave. Like he'd walk in, beat us with Kazuya, and then just leave, and be like, yeah, woo, 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 woo. It's like a 40-year-old man fucking.
How much did that make you train though? Because you're pretty good at fighting games nowadays. Is that all just because you were learning to beat Kazuya?
Basically, yeah. I should go back and challenge my dad to it, shouldn't I? It's like though, just when you get that cheeky, like you get someone like you mentioned, like someone who's clearly better than you. So I remember like doing it in Halo once, where there was this guy who was absolutely fucking dominating us. Like he was on the other team, and he had like 25 of the team's 30 kills. And just right at the end, like he killed me like 10 times, but right at the end of the match for the winning kill, I just walked up behind him and just gumbutted him, and then just started teabagging him, and then quit the game. And just all night it was messages from that guy, rematch, rematch, rematch. Like, no, I won, final kill, baby.
Oh god! And as much as like I try to not let it, get me on tilt, as we said, like. There are times when I'm like, oh, the fucker just teabagged me. Like, I'm going.
That's the thing as well. Like, I teabag just instinctually. I think it's funny. I don't get annoyed by it. I think it's when something happens, I laugh my ass off when it happens. And it's actually gotten us in trouble before. So like you mentioned like Smash Bros. Like we play that game all the time casually together. And it's just the thing we do. We taunt. We taunt. We have fun.
Using the ultra forbidden technique, crouch cancelled, walk cancelled, turnaround cancelled, crouch. We're able to complete the cycle and initiate crouches in both directions with a cycle time of only 8 frames. Yes, that's right. By cancelling our walk into a turnaround into a crouch, a character can teabag back and forth 7.5 times per second. This is the most advanced teabagging possible in Ultimate, and should only be saved for situations when a galaxy-sized flex is required.
I remember I went with a friend of ours to, again, what we thought was a casual tournament. And, he got 1 KO and just did the casual taunt. So, it's like, basically GG's, isn't it? I got the thing, well done. And the guys turned to and went, we don't do that here. And nearly picked up his controller and walked off. Like,
oh my god.
Calm down, it's Smash Bros. It's a game for kids. Like, none of us are winners here. Well, let's be real. None of us are winners. Even if you win, you're not a winner playing Smash Bros. And I say that as a Smash Bros player.
There's a reason that Captain Falcon says, show me your moves. It's like, it's a sign of respect. He wants to see your moves.
Well, to me, it's the equivalent of like UFC fighters and boxers when they're they touch the gloves. It's that to me.
Yeah.
It's a sign of mutual respect. So it's the same thing of like, when people ignore that or get annoyed about it, it's like, come on.
Yeah.
Like, there's an element of sportsmanship to it, but at the end of the day, it's a fucking video game.
Yeah, that is completely true. Like, if you have the ability to teabag somebody or taunt somebody, and that's like mind games at that point, and mind games are a part of sports.
Yeah, if someone gets, flustered by you pressing down on the D-pad 3 times, that's on them.
Oh, it's looking bad, Ribs!
The arena is free! Thanks to Senate, this man is hitting the turbo banks! No. No. Abel, we cannot let this one slide.
And if they get flustered and start playing poorly, or they get frustrated, and you can take advantage of that. Again, it's like mentioned earlier, taking advantage of situational positional awareness. That is as much a part of any organised competition as understanding the rules of the game or sheer athleticism.
And I just want to let everyone know that Karl did remind me of another experience playing Halo when we played doubles, and you were like, no, let's just get 1 kill on someone, teabag them, and then crouch in a corner where they can't find us, and just time it out.
You will not believe how high I got up in Halo 3 doubles. I was in platinum rank for doubles in Halo 4, I think it was, just by getting 1 kill and hiding. And I think it's a valid tactic.
It's a very annoying tactic to play against, but it's one that gets you the win.
That's it, it got me the win, and that's the thing as well. It's funny to me that I would just sit there and giggle the entire time. Because I know it's a dick move, but the game's letting me do it. And if the game's letting me do it, I'm not going to stop. Well, there's nothing in the rules that says I can't just crouch in a corner and not fight.
Oh, I still remember that moment of you just telling me, like, no, we've got the point, let's go and hide. I was like, what?
That's the thing as well. When you get to that, like, 9th minute, and you see like, them running past you for the 4th time, and it's so tempting to, like, shoot them once. And you're like, doesn't it get really tense, though, by the end of it?
It does,
gets so tense when you get to, like, the 9th minute, and it's like, oh, no! It's like, I remember, in, like, Halo 3, they patched it out eventually, but what you could do is, in one of the maps, you could just throw yourself off the edge, and it wouldn't put your score down. So you could get 1 kill and just jump off the edge, so your opponent never had a chance to win.
Oh god, no.
So you just get 1 kill, and your team would have like negative 14 death, and you'd still win. It was great. Oh, so fun. I wish you could do that in real sport. But if you want to see us do this like dickhead stuff in video games, you can follow us on Twitch. Links below. Someone's going to be so mad.
Someone's going to hear that story and be like, absolutely fuck Karl.
I imagine people are going to want to play against us just to avoid, like, so they can get us for you doing that. Try it. Perfect.